Hello and welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all. And in this video, we're going to be jumping back into the upcoming North Carolina DLC. However, we are of course playing it on the public test server. And of course, the gameplay that you're going to be watching here is going to be mostly with the square body dually. However, there's another truck that we're going to be using in this video that I'm sure a lot of y'all are going to like that comes up a little bit later on. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do after the very first episode is I kind of wanted to look around some of the areas of the map that I may or may not have had a chance to see yet. And for example, there's this really cool port area that I'm going to let y'all take a look at real quick. Now that we've looked around in there a little bit, it's time to go ahead and head a little further down the road and see if we can find some other tasks. Now, one of the biggest things that I was kind of looking for when I set out in the beginning of this episode was I wanted to find some new tasks that were interesting to do, but also didn't necessarily take like 15 steps to complete them or had a bunch of different materials that needed to come from all across the map, because obviously I don't really know where a lot of things on this map are yet. But fortunately, I was able to find one pretty close to at least where I'm at right now. Although one of the things that I wanted to go ahead and do first was I wanted to run the radar unit. Now, if you don't like spoilers, you should probably click off because we are going to be using the portable radar unit more than once across the course of not only this video, but some of the upcoming videos from the North Carolina DLC, because I have seen some people out there say that they don't like the spoilers that come from some of the public test server videos. And while I, of course, 100% understand not wanting to see spoilers, if you didn't want to see spoilers, you probably shouldn't have come to a DLC video. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and move into our first task. Now, this first task involves the truck right here being essentially out of fuel and stranded. And so my initial thought was, oh, well, I've got spare fuel. I'll just put fuel in it and then I'll drive it to the drop-off point. Well, the game doesn't necessarily want you to do it that way. What they essentially want you to do is they want you to go and get another truck, haul the trailer there, and then tow the tractor to the same drop-off point, which I honestly found to be a little bit convoluted. Like, why not just let you refuel the truck at hand? But, you know, SnowRunner things, I guess. And then for the recovery truck, I actually chose a Pacific P512PF, and this thing, it actually gives us a really interesting like combination across the course of these missions of having a really powerful but not necessarily super powerful vanilla truck. And then on the other side of the equation, we have our modded truck, which y'all will get to, of course, enjoy a little bit later on. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all enjoy the gameplay of driving this thing down, picking up the trailer, and then hauling it back. And then we have the absolute, basically, essentially ridiculous mess that was the process of towing the other tractor with the square body. Also, just as a little bit of a side note here, that trailer shook a lot when we hooked it up, and I was actually a little concerned that it was gonna send me into the atmosphere, but luckily we ended up being okay. And now we get to make the drive back, and for some reason, I think it had to do with just the public test server being the public test server and all of this stuff not necessarily being done yet. We had to restart, or rather like re-accept the task itself. Again, not quite sure why we had to do that, but it is what it is when you're using the public test server, I guess. Now, I will say though, as far as this truck not having any power at all going to the front axle, it actually does a pretty respectable job out here in the mud. Now, obviously it's not going to be fast, and obviously the square body is going to obliterate this swamp a little bit later on. However, I think honestly it's genuinely impressive, and I know that there was obviously some winching here and there, but it was still impressive to me. And if you don't want to see the slow run of this thing through the swamp, feel free to skip ahead. However, I still think that this thing did a really, really good job, of course, for what it is. But now it's time for the really, really fun part, and if you don't like overpowered trucks, then you should probably either turn the video off or look away, because this thing is going to absolutely rip. But that is what I'm going to leave y'all with. I'm going to let y'all watch this run from here all the way to the drop-off point. And if y'all are enjoying these videos in the upcoming North Carolina region, then of course let me know any and all thoughts and opinions you may have in the comment section down below. And if you also like or don't like this sort of segmented style of commentary, let me know your thoughts and opinions on that in the comments as well, because I would love to hear your feedback on whether or not y'all would like separate sections of commentary like this with more of an emphasis on the gameplay, or if you would like the commentary to be constant throughout the video. But once again, hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. Enjoy the rest of the video.